Hi, hello. Welcome to my next lecture on solutions topic, that is lecture number 7. In this lecture, I would like to explain about the colligative properties and determination of molar mass. Okay, and what are the definitions of colligative properties, as well as I will give you details of some of the colligative properties with mathematical relations and some problems also based on colligative properties. Okay, let us start the class. Now, this topic is called as colligative properties. Colligative properties. Okay. Here, first we have to know what is exactly the colligative property. Actually, these are the properties depends on of a solution depends on the fraction of solute particles and solvent particles, not upon the chemical nature of solute, which are called as colligative properties. That means, what are colligative properties? The property of a solution which depends on which depends upon the fraction of solute particles and solvent particles and solvent particles, and not upon the chemical nature of solute is called a colligative property. Is called a colligative property. So, property of solution depends upon the fraction of solute particles and solvent particles, not upon the chemical nature of solute, is called colligative property. Not only this one, we have another definition is there. We can also define colligative property as the properties of dilute solutions entirely depends on the depends on the quantity of the solute particles. Properties of solutions which are dependent only on the total number of particles or total concentration of particles in the solution. We can also define colligative properties as the properties of the solution, which are dependent only only on the number of, on the total number of particles. Particles means solute particles, or total concentration of particles in the solution. In the solution, and are not, the properties are not dependent on the nature of particle, on the nature of particle, that is, that may be size, or that may be neutral or charge, etc. of the particles. Okay. So you can also define qualitative properties as the properties of the solution which are dependent only on the total number of particles or total concentration of particles in the solution, which are not dependent on the nature of the particles and size, neutral charge, etc. So properties of solution dependent on the total number of particles are called qualitative properties. In other words, first what you define, the property of a solution which depends upon the fraction of solute particles and solvent particles and not upon the chemical nature of solute is called colligative property. So in this way we can define colligative property. Now we are going to discuss about constitutional particles. Constitutional particles are nothing but properties which are dependent on the nature of particles or constitutional properties like electrical conductance and all called as colligative properties. Not only this one, we can also define colligative properties that are the properties depend on concentration of solute molecules or ions in solution, but not on the chemical identity of the solution. For example, if you take, for example, addition of ethylene glycol, addition of ethylene glycol to water lowers the freezing point of water, lowers the freezing point of water below 0 degrees Celsius. Means the magnitude of this freezing point, that means the magnitude of freezing point lowering is proportional to the number of solute molecules added, the number of solute molecules added to a particular quantity of solvent. Quantity of solvent. So now from these 2 points what we understand is when we add ethylene glycol to water, lowering of freezing point will be noticed for water. So this is happening depends on the number of solute particles that are added to the solvent at that particular instant of time. So that means if 0.01 mole of ethylene glycol is added to 1 kilogram of water, then the freezing point is lowered. The freezing point is lowered to minus 0.019 degrees Celsius assumed. So this is the case. But that means while on adding 0.020 mole of ethylene glycol to 1 kilogram of water, then what they noticed is the freezing point lowered. Freezing point lowered to 0.038 degrees Celsius. So it is evident from this experiment, that means 0.1, not 1 mole of ethylene glycol is added to 1 kilogram of water. Freezing point is lower to minus 0.019 degrees Celsius. While on adding 0.020 mole of ethylene glycol to 1 kilogram of water, the freezing point is lower to minus 0.038 degrees Celsius. So it is evident that number of solute particles are playing an important role in deciding this property of the solution. So this property is called as colligative property. Now we will check it off with the various colligative properties. That means various types of colligative properties. You can also call the various colligative properties. Various colligative properties are the one we will call it as relative lowering of vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure. You can also call it as RLVP. Okay. The another one, second one we will call, that is elevation of boiling point. elevation of boiling point, you can put symbol delta TB for it. Next one is depression of freezing point. Depression of freezing point, you can put delta TF for this one symbol. Another one, that is osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure. So the first one is called as relative lowering of air pressure. Second one, elevation of boiling point. Third one, depression of freezing point. And the fourth one is osmotic pressure. So we have observed here the particles are playing an important role, solute particles. That indicates that greater the number of particles of solute in the solution, greater is the extent to which colligative property is affected. That means, what is the meaning of this one is, greater the number of particles, greater the number of particles of solute in solution. In solution, what they noticed is, greater is the extent of colligative property. Colligative property is affected. Okay, that means colligative property value gets changed greatly when the number of particles of solute also changes. Okay, we'll check. What are the factors affect the colligative properties? What are the factors that affect the colligative property? The colligative property. Okay. In this first case, the more accurate the colligative property is not possible, but to be more accurate, the colligative property depends upon fraction of solute particles and solvent particles in the solution. Okay, in that the first factor you can say, that is nature of the solvent. Nature of the solvent. First factor. Second factor, independent of nature of solute, is independent of the nature of the solute. And the other one is the extent of association. The extent of association and dissociation of solute particles, of solute particles in solution. So that means colligative property definitely changes, gets affected when the association or dissociation of solute particles takes place in the solution, or it is independent of the nature of the solute, nature of the solvent. It depends on the nature of the solvent. It depends on the nature of the independence of the nature of the solute. These are the main factors that affects the colligative property. So finally, what we understand is it depends on nature of solvent. It depends on association or dissociation of solute particles. Now let us see an illustration. That is, which of the following is not a colligative property? Which of the following is not a colligative property? Okay, we will see some options here. Optical activity. Optical activity. Another one, elevation in boiling point. Elevation in boiling point. Another one, osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure. Other one, lowering of vapor pressure. Lowering of vapor pressure. Here in this question, which of the following is not a colligative property is the question. Optical activity, elevation in boiling point, and osmotic pressure and lowering of vapor pressure, for different things they are given. But here, optical activity, we cannot say it is a colligative property, because for solutions containing non-volatile solutes, Raoult's law stated at a given temperature, vapor pressure of containing non-volatile solute is directly proportional to the mole fraction of solvent. So here, lowering of vapor pressure comes under this category. Elevation in boiling point and osmotic pressure also comes in the colligative properties. But optical property is not comes under this colligative property. So optical activity is not a colligative property. Now let us understand first one, that is a relative lowering of vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure. Okay. In this juncture, we have to understand one factor, one information, that is regarding the colligative properties. Regarding the colligative properties, relative lowering of vapor pressure, which was explained by Raoult's law. Before knowing this information, we will start with the vapor pressure of solution. Okay, what is the vapor pressure of a solution? Okay, here what is happening here? Vapor pressure of this solution of non-volatile solutes generally found to be lesser than the vapor pressure of pure solvents. It is most important thing here. It is not our intention to define what is vapor pressure. We would like to discuss about the non-volatile solute presence in the solution, how it bring about the change in the vapor pressure of solvent. So what is the observation noticed is vapor pressure of solution of a non-volatile solute, that is assume is a solid solute, okay, is in general is always found to be less than that the vapor pressure, less than the vapor pressure of pure solvent. Okay, so here what we have observed is whenever we have a non-volatile solute is present in the solution, that will reduce the vapor pressure of solvent. That is the meaning of. What is the reason here is some of the reason is nothing but some of the solute molecules occupy the surface area on the liquid, which will reduces the number of solvent particles. Suppose if you take these are the solvent molecules on the surface, and over this one there are some particles are there. Below this you have solvent is there. Assuming this is P naught is the value, or P is the vapor pressure of the solution. But after adding non-volatile solute, after adding non-volatile solute in this surface area, there are some solute particles also present along with the solvent. That time what happened? Notice a very few vapor particles above the surface. Notice this is the PS. What is the main observation noticed is solute molecules occupies surface area of the solutions. That tendency of solute particles going to vapor phase slightly decreases. That means when the solute particles are staying along with the solvent particles on the surface, number of solvent particles over the surface decreases. That will decrease the vapor pressure. So that's why what they noticed is P or P naught value is said to be greater than PS. Okay. What is the meaning of this one is they have noticed a difference. The difference in the vapor pressures is called as lowering of vapor pressure, that is you can also calculate as delta P, that is equals to P minus PS or P naught minus PS. In this particular juncture, you can call the relative lowering of vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure is equals to delta P by P naught. Means what is delta P? Lowering of vapor pressure, that is P naught minus PS by P naught. So this is called as RLVP. So what is RLVP? Relative lowering of vapor pressure, that is the decrease in the vapor pressure of the solution when compared to the vapor pressure of the solvent is called as relative lowering of vapor pressure, or that ratio between the lowering of vapor pressure to that of the vapor pressure of pure solvent is also called as RLVP. Now, we will get to know there is an information about RLVP also in a different manner. Now we will check it out. That is, for a solution of non-volatile solute we discussed already. The vapor pressure is contribution by non-volatile solute generally negligible. Because of this one only what happened. There is a vapor pressure change is observed. Solvent molecules number is decreased, and that extent we observe. And partial vapor pressure of solution containing a non-volatile solute, according to the concepts discussed, Raoult's laws, is equal to the product of the pressure of pure liquid Pa0 and mole fraction of the solution. So you can write Pa is equals to P0 into XA. This is a well-known fact from the previous Raoult's law discussion they made on it. And assuming this is for A, what is XA in this one? XA is the mole fraction of solvent. We are considering XA be the mole fraction of solvent. And if we consider the mole fraction as XB is the mole fraction of solute. Mole fraction of solute. Then what about the XA value? That will become equals to 1 minus X. So here we can write this equation as Pa is equals to Pa0 into 1 minus XB. Okay. And if you again in detail, if you explain this is expand it, will become Pa0 minus Pa0 into XB. So what is Pa value? Pa is equals to Pa0 minus Pa0 into XB. And in this, we'd like to find only XB from it. So what is Pa0 into XB? That is equals to Pa0 minus Pa. Okay. Then what will be the XB? XB is equals to Pa0 minus Pa by Pa0. So this X is nothing but mole fraction of solute is number of moles of solute NB by total number of moles is Na plus Nb. You can also write like this is the mole fraction of solute formula. And whatever we notice the Pa0 minus Pa by Pa0 is a relative lowering of vapor pressure. So here we have noticed the Pa0 minus Pa by Pa0 is nothing but which is called as relative lowering of vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure. Therefore, from the discussion here, we have what we have made. What is XB? Mole fraction of solute. Therefore, what is relative lowering of vapor pressure? Raoult's law. This is Raoult's law. So what is the Raoult's law now? For this kind of solutions, dilute solutions, Raoult's law states the relative lowering of vapor pressure, that is PA naught minus PA by PA naught. You can put any different symbols, but we are assuming PA naught is the vapor pressure of pure solvent. PA is the vapor pressure of solution. Is vapor pressure, relative lowering vapor pressure of solution is equal to the mole fraction of the solute, in which the solvent alone is volatile. Very clear. That means any point of time, if you are not mentioning about the nature of the solute, nature of the solvent, that is also wrong. But here we are very clear that solvent is volatile. If it is not volatile, it won't definitely contribute towards the vapor pressure of the solution. So solvent is completely responsible for, gives rise to the vapor pressure of the solution, but solute is definitely reduces the vapor pressure of solvent over the surface of the liquid solution. So whenever we have liquid solution which is containing non-volatile solute, that non-volatile solute makes the solution vapor pressure lesser than the vapor pressure of pure solvent, which is explained by relative lowering of vapor pressure in the Raoult's law concept. Okay, let us stepping into one more important thing here, that is Raoult's law, relative lowering of vapor pressure, how it is said to be facing some difficulties. I can say there are limitations are there in Raoult's law. That limitations we will check it before going to the determination of molar masses. Limitations of Raoult's law. Limitations of Raoult's law. In the first case, I can say that earlier only we discussed, when a solution is not dilute solution, there will be interactions between solute and solvent particles. So one limitation I can say, when the solution is not dilute solution, is not dilute, then there are significant interactions between solute and solvent particles. So what will happen? Raoult's law said to be not obeyed fully, and Raoult's law is not obeyed fully in this case. So we can understand a solution definitely will be formed in this also, but there are positive and negative deviation from ideal behavior, we can check it. So there are positive and negative deviations, positive and negative deviations from ideal behavior or ideal solution. Ideal behavior, that is one thing, understand. So when the solution is not a dilute solution, definitely there will be a significant interactions between solute and solvent particles that is not obeying the Raoult's law. So Raoult's law problem, that is, so there should not be any kind of concentrated solution. Another one, if solute molecules, if solute molecules dissociates in solution, so what will happen? There are more particles. There are more particles, means ions also will come, right? More particles in solution, and what will happen? Therefore, lowering of vapor pressure shows an increased effect. Lowering of vapor pressure shows an increased effect. Okay. For example, if you take sodium chloride solid solution in liquid, it gives Na plus aqueous plus Cl minus aqueous. So considering H2O is a solvent in this one. So what I noticed from this equation is a solute molecule dissociating here. The more particles in the solution are definitely changes the lowering of vapor pressure, means lowering of vapor pressure increases. Colligative property changes if this kind of dissociation takes place. Even association takes place also, there will be decreased effect in the colligative property will be there. That is one of the limitations of Raoult's law. So we'll discuss about association. If the solute molecules, if the solute molecules associates in solution, what happens? There are less particles. There are less particles in solution, and therefore what happens? And therefore lowering of vapor pressure shows a decreased effect. So what I understand is, if you take n moles of a solution AB, if it associates into polymerases, then it will becomes AB n times. For example, if you take 2 moles of benzoic acid, this benzoic acid, because of the hydrogen bonding, that forms a dimer, that is C6H5COOH 2 times in a non-polar solvent. Non-polar solvent, not water. Means there will be hydrogen bonds that existed, like CH5. If you write C double bond O here, OH. Another one, if you write like C6H5 OH. Between this hydrogen and oxygen, hydrogen bonding. Here double bond, if you check it, here hydrogen bonding is possible. So because of this one, we can say association takes place, and there are less particles in solution. Lowering the vapor pressure effect is decreased in this case. Definitely, Raoult's law is failing in these cases. Association should not take place, dissociation should not take place. Also, the solution should be dilute solution, otherwise the colligative property cannot be easily developed, ideal solution cannot be formed. Okay, colligative property changes, expected one is not there, so anomalous behavior of the solutions will be noticed. So this is what relative lowering of vapor pressure. What is relative lowering of vapor pressure? Vapor pressure of solution of non-volatile solute, that is solid solute, always found to be less than the vapor pressure of pure solvent. This is because of number of solvent particles in vapor phase above the liquid surface. That number decreases when the non-volatile solute is present in the solution. Another point here is lowering of vapor pressure is noticed as the change in the vapor pressure is delta P, and delta P by P naught, that is relative lowering of vapor pressure. According to Raoult's law, this vapor pressure of a solution, if you consider it is a PA, that is equals to PA naught into XA, whereas XA is the mole fraction of solvent. And at that case, XB, if you consider the mole fraction of solute, that is written in terms of XA is written in terms of XB, and finally that is substituted in the above expression. This expression we got XB, which is equals to P naught minus PA by PA naught. We call PA naught is the vapor pressure of pure solvent, and that is equals to NB by Na plus NB is the mole fraction of solute. So that juncture we call PA naught minus PA by PA naught is equals to relative lowering of vapor pressure. So this is what we call as Raoult's law, that is stating that relative lowering of vapor pressure of solution is equal to the mole fraction of solute, in which the solvent alone is a volatile substance. And the limitations observed when the Raoult's law is not said to be obeyed is the solution should be dilute. It should not be a dilute one. When a solution is not a dilute one, it is problematic one for Raoult's law. It led to the deviations from ideal behavior, and dissociation of solute and association of solute also should not take place. That may changes the lowering of vapor pressure is one correlative property. That may be because of some dissolution in the solution or association of the solution due to hydrogen bonding strong. So from this point, what we have understand is the relative lowering of vapor pressure, that is Raoult's law, is giving the most important relation between the mole fraction and the vapor pressures. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about Raoult's law for non-volatile solutes, how useful in determining the molar mass of solute. let us discuss about the determination of molar mass. Determination of molar mass of solute, that we are calling as non-volatile solute also. So if the solute is not known to us also, we can find the molar mass of it using Raoult's law. Okay. What is that? Raoult's law is, from Raoult's law only we will discuss this point. From Raoult's law, the relative lowering of vapor pressure is a convenient method in determining this one. In this, there are some considerations. Let us consider a solution containing Na is the number of moles of solvent. Number of moles of solvent. That is A. I am calling solvent is A. And Nb is the number of moles of solute. I am calling solute is B. Then according to this concept of mole fractions, what is XB? We have drawn, that is XB is nothing but NB by Na plus Nb. That implies XB is equals to Nb by Na plus Nb. When we have the weight of the solute and solvents using W symbols and Ma symbols, then this Nb will become equals to Wb by Mb. I am calling this Mb is the molar mass of solute divided by Wa by Ma plus Wb by Mb. So here what is Wa, Wb and all these things is Wa is weight of solvent. What is Wb? That is weight of solute. What is Ma? Ma is nothing but molecular weight of solvent. What is Mb? That is molecular weight of solute. Okay. So this is entirely present in the denominator. Okay. Let it be. Now this is nothing but relative lowering of vapor pressure only from Raoult's law. That means this equation for relative lowering of vapor pressure is given. What is the equation for RLVP? That is written as RLVP written as, how we written, that is PA naught minus PA by PA naught, that is equals to XB is equals to NB by Na plus Nb. Okay. But what is the Raoult's law condition is? For Raoult's law, for dilute solution, there should not be any kind of problem. For dilute solution, only obeys this one. This number of moles of solute is extremely lesser than this number of moles of solvent. In that juncture, you can write Na plus Nb is definitely equals to Na, approximately equals to Na in the above expression. Means how the RLVP changes? PA naught minus PA by PA naught is equals to NB by Na. What is NB? WB by MB. And what is Na? WA by MA. It's nothing but WB by MB into MA by WA. Okay. What we need is MB. MB is nothing but molar mass of solute. That is molar mass of solute. That is non-volatile solute. That has become equals to PA naught by PA naught minus PA. PA naught minus PA into this value already is there, we have, that is WB into MA divided by WA. Okay. So what is the MB value? MB is equals to WB into MA by WA. Okay, this is the expression for determining the molar mass of solute. But how we got this is, first we have taken Na and all the A symbols for solvent. N is the number of moles and W is the weight and M is the capital M is the molar mass. And this mole fraction we have discussed for the non-volatile solute, and that mole fraction according to Raoult's law written as equals to P naught A by P naught A minus PA by PA naught, and that is expanded, but condition here for the Raoult's law is the dilute solution is NB is extremely less than Na. This condition is most important. Whereas this Na plus Nb can be taken as Na, Nb can be negligible. That time in the denominator, this Nb by Na we wrote. Then after we simplified and finally we got Mb is equals to the Pa naught by Pa naught minus Pa into WBMA by WA. Okay, whatever the symbol it may be, you need to tell what is WB, what is MA, what is MB, and all these things in the exam, in the description. And now, even in terms of molality, also we can write the Raoult law. Okay. So how can we write that one in the case is in terms of molality RLVP, we will write it. Okay. We have told that PA naught minus PA by PA naught is equals to WA, WB, MA by MB, WA. WB by MB into WA by MA. That's what we saw here. Okay. For this, we're going to do one thing, that we will multiply this one with 1000 and divide with 1000. Then it won't get changed. So in this juncture, we're going to write separately the information, that is nothing but WB by MB into 1000 by weight of solvent is WA into molecular weight of solvent is MA by 1000. We understand number of moles of solute present in 1 kg of solvent is nothing but molality. So this is all called as molality into molecular weight of solvent by 1000. That is actually equals to our PA naught minus PA by PA naught. So from this, what is the molality expression? What is molality? Molality, that is equal to small m, is equals to PA naught minus PA by PA naught will be multiplied with 1000 and divided with molecular weight of solvent. Here we have considered this Na is extremely greater than Nb in that case. Okay. So this is the expression. We are telling about molality. In terms of molality also, we have defined what is Raoult's law. So what is Raoult's law? Raoult's law is telling that relative lowering of vapor pressure of a dilute solution containing non-volatile solute is equal to the mole fraction of solute in the solution. So that is very clearly explained in this molality expression also. Okay. Now we are going to see some mathematical relations or problems. Okay. We will see a problem on Raoult's law. Discuss problems. Problems on Raoult's law, that is RLVP Raoult's law. Okay. We'll see a problem now. 10 grams of solute is dissolved in 80 grams of acetone. That is the experiment. In this they are telling vapor pressure of this solution is given 271 millimeter of Hg. If vapor pressure of pure acetone is 283 millimeter of Hg, then they are asking us to calculate molar mass of solute. Calculate molar mass of solute. Okay. Once again, we will check the problem. What is the aim of the problem? Is finding the molar mass of solute. And they are given the mass of solute, mass of solvent, and vapor pressure of solution, vapor pressure of solvent. As per our Raoult's law, what is PA naught minus PA by PA naught? That is equals to the WB by MB into MA by WA. We want to substitute all these things here in this one. And finally, we want MB only, that is molar mass of solute. What is MB? Yeah, we will write MB here. MB is equals to PA naught by PA naught minus PA into WB into MA by WA. Suppose if this value substitute the PA naught value, they are given the vapor pressure of pure acetone 283 here. By 283 minus 271, 283 minus 271, how much? You'll get 12 into weight of the solute given 10 grams, molecular weight of solvent, acetone formula, from that formula we'll get 58 divided by the weight of solvent. Weight of solvent given in the problem acetone is 8. Okay. Now upon substitution calculation, molar mass of solute we got is 160 163 163 I got the answer is 163 grams per mole. So 163 is the answer for this problem, Raoult's law problem. Okay, let us move to the next problem. Another one we will check. That is, we'll check with the one more problem. Calculate the I will take another color. Yeah. Calculate the weight of urea weight of urea which must be dissolved in 400 grams of water. So final solution has vapor pressure 2% less than the vapor pressure of pure water. Yeah, this is the problem. They have given calculate the weight of urea which must be dissolved in 400 grams of water. So final solution has a vapor pressure 2% less than the vapor pressure of pure solvent in this one. So we have to find the WB of the problem. So our Raoult's law related information is giving that PA naught minus PA by PA naught, which is equals to WB by MB into MA by WA. The WB is the aim of the problem that can be calculated. and telling about the percentage of the relative lowering of vapor pressure. That means if you consider 100% is the vapor pressure of pure water, then vapor pressure of the solution definitely will be 98%. So what is the difference between a PA naught and PB, PA naught and PA? That is equals to 2%. Okay. And coming to the point here, the vapor pressure of this water, if you take this is 98, then vapor pressure of solution will be 96. So both we can take, so total become 100 in such a way. If you consider, then what will be the difference is only 2%. Okay. So this can be written, that is fraction. So change in the vapor pressure is 2%. 2 is the difference, and total is 100%. Once the 2% is reduced, means I can take this is 2%. This is the vapor pressure of pure solvent is I can take 98%. Okay, I will take this is 98%. So I can take PA naught is 98%, and PA naught minus PA is equals to 2%. Okay, so this is what I have taken. Now you can consider this is equals to WB. What is WB? They don't know. That is the aim of the problem. Molecular weight of urea is 60, and molecular weight of this solvent water is 18. Water mass given the problem is 400 grams. So I can substitute 400. So I can write WB now. WB is equals to 60 into 400 into 2 by 98 into 18. I will check the simplification. Upon simplification, what is the value I got is, I'll check it off. $60 into 400 into 2 divided by 98 divided by 18. So that I got is 27.21 grams of urea. Urea mass in the problem is 27.2 grams, 21 grams. So this is the answer. So in this, the question that we have understand here is solution has vapor pressure 2% less than the vapor pressure of water. If you consider vapor pressure of water is 100%, total vapor pressure is 100%, and solution vapor pressure is 98, and the change is 2% here. So that we have noticed. Okay. So here we can also, we have already told that this percentage how came, means we can say what is the vapor pressure of solution. Vapor pressure of solution is equals to, percentage is 98% pure solvent, 98% into vapor pressure of solvent. Okay. So 98% of the vapor pressure of pure solvent is vapor pressure of solution. Then what is the PA naught minus PA value? PA naught is minus PA value is 98% means 0.98. 0.98 into PA naught. So PA naught minus 0.98 is how much? 0.02. This is 0.02 of PA naught. So this is what we have substituted here. So I consider this difference is this one 0.02. 0.02 is 2%. 98% is nothing but 0.98. So this is the value I have taken. Next problem. We'll see next problem. That is an aqueous solution we'll write the problem. That is next problem. This is problem number 3. Problem number 3. An aqueous solution of 2% non-volatile solute, 2% non-volatile solute exerts a pressure of 1.004 bar at the normal boiling point of the solvent The question is, what is the molar mass of solute? What is the molar mass of solute? Let us see. We have a molar mass of solute formula from Raoult's law. Mb is equals to Pa naught by Pa naught minus Pa into Wb into Ma by Wa. Here what is Pa naught given in the problem? They had given 1.00 bar is the vapor pressure, okay, given. Aqueous solution of 2% of non-volatile solute exerts a pressure 1.004 bar at normal boiling point. So this 1.004 we can consider that is the PA value. And what is the vapor pressure of normal boiling point of water at 100 degrees Celsius is 1.013 bar. Its value is a standard value. This is for water. This is particularly for water. And now that if you substitute here in this, it will become 1.013 by 1.013 minus 1.004 into what is WB is the weight of solute. Weight of solute you can take 2 grams into MA is the molar mass of water is 80 divided by WA is the weight of water that you can consider is 98 because 2% means what is 2% weight by weight. So 2 grams of solute present and remaining 98 grams is water. Okay. So I have taken this value. Now upon simplification, what will come? I will check it out. This MB is the, I am considering MB is the molar mass of solute. Taking Raoult's law concept only. So upon simplification, I got 41.35 grams per mole. So this is the answer for this problem. In this problem, aqueous solution of 2% of non-volatile solute exerts the pressure given. Normal boiling point of solvent, what is the vapor pressure? That is a standard value you have to consider is 1.013 bar. That is substituted in this regard answer. Otherwise, it is difficult to. Now see the next question. What is the next question is? The vapor pressure of ethyl alcohol the vapor pressure of ethyl alcohol at 25 degrees Celsius is 59.2 bar. Sorry, torr. This is there given is torr, not bar. Is torr. The vapor pressure of a very dilute solution of urea in ethyl alcohol given as 51.3 torr. And the question is, what is the molality? What is the molality of the solution? You see, from the previous discussion, we made molality and relative lowering of vapor pressure relation here, and this you have to consider. What is the formula is RLVP into 1000 by molecular weight of solvent. Okay, so we can take that one here in this problem. That is, what is molality formula? Molality is equals to RLVP. What is RLVP formula? PA naught minus PA by PA naught into 1000 by molecular weight of solvent. Okay, here PA naught value in the problem which is given as 59.2 and solution value given as 51.3 divided by again 59.2 will be written into 1000 by molecular weight of solvent. Here solvent is alcohol. So alcohol, ethyl alcohol molecular formula is weight is 46. If you substitute this one you'll get molality here. Upon simplification, I got 2.9 molal is the answer for this question. So this formula, you know, means the shortcut method only. Otherwise, you have to go according to the Raoult's law, molality formula and all these things. You have to do it. So this formula you have to remember for competitive examination. Also, even you can do it for board exam for a 2 marks problem. Next. Next question. Next we will see a problem, that is the vapor pressure of solvent, the vapor pressure of solvent decreased by 10 millimeter of Hg when a non-volatile solute was added, a non-volatile solute was added to the solvent. Okay, they are giving the mole fraction of solute in solution is 0.2. The question is, what would be the mole fraction of solvent if decrease in vapor pressure is 20 millimeter of Hg? We have options also for this question. It is 0.8, 0.6, 0.4, 0.2. Okay. Now we will see the question once again. Vapor pressure of solvent decreased by 10 millimeter of Hg when a non-volatile solute was added to the solvent. The mole fraction of solute in solution is 0.2. And what would be the mole fraction of solvent if decrease in vapor pressure is 20 millimeter of Hg? We know one thing, that the mole fraction, the RLVP is equals to mole fraction of solute. Okay. What is RLVP? P naught minus PA by PA naught, that is equals to XB. XB is mole fraction of solute, that is 0.2. Okay. First they are given this vapor pressure decrease P naught minus PA naught minus PA is 10. That is divided by PA naught equals to 0.2. Means 10 is equals to PA naught into 0.2 from the first statement. And again they told the another point, that is 20 millimeter of Hg is the decrease. Okay. So what is that answer is 20 by PA naught means equals to how much that value, mole fraction 20 by PA naught. So when it is raised 2 times, then it will become 2 times that mole fraction is 0.4. So I can write 0.4 this value. Therefore, what is the mole fraction of solvent? So this 0.4 I am considering is the mole fraction of solute for the final problem. Therefore, what is XA according to the problem is the mole fraction of solvent, that is equals to 1 minus XB. XB we obtained is 0.4. That is equals to 1 minus 0.4 is 0.6 I got. So 0.6 is the answer for this question. As first they told it is the 10 is the lowering of vapor pressure. That time mole fraction is 0.2. And again they told lowering of vapor pressure is 20 millimeters. That time we expected that is 2 times of it, 1 is 2 times of this first one is 0.2 into 2 is 0.4. So we have taken 0.4 is the XB for the final problem calculation, and we got 0.6 is the answer for this problem. Okay. So in that way we have solved this problem in this lecture. Now we can check it. So dear students, we have started with the colligative properties in the present class, today's class, and we discussed about what is colligative property and its details and its definitions and reasoning behind the colligative property tendency and its factors affecting colligative properties. After that, we checked some of the colligative properties problems, and after that we have discussed about the most important first colligative property, that is relative lowering of vapor pressure. And then after we have identified the importance of these colligative properties to determine the molar mass of solute, and solute molar mass how can be determined from the Raoult's law. We have given a formula. Even you can use any kind of different symbols, but you need to tell about the description of the symbols, and how the molality expression is also useful in this RLVP relation. To find the molality, RLVP is also useful, that they have given they derived a formula also for this one. After that, we have taken some important problems for the calculation of relative lowering of vapor pressure. That is for the 1, 2, there are 3 different problems. After that, this is a 5th problem and objective problem also we have discussed. So this is what we have discussed in this present session, and in the coming sessions we will discuss about the next colligative properties with their application and their mathematical relations. Until, have a nice day. Let us be prepared and make your friends to subscribe my channel. I'm not going to do anything for the subscribers point of view. I will do everything for the students point of view. I'm not running for the subscribers count. I'm going for the my intention of giving services to all the students reaching my classes all around the globe. Okay. Thank you very much for being with me in this session.